Welcome, Pewter Report readers, viewers, and listeners, to a brand new edition of the Pewter Report podcast, brought to you by our friends over at Briar-Greaves Insurance. Protecting your assets starts with a company that you can count on. So whether it's auto, homeowners, flood boaters, or business insurance, there's nobody better in the business to work with than the great people over at Briar-Greaves Insurance. For more information about them, visit their website, briargreavesinsurance.com, or give them a call at 813-876-4166. That's 813-876-4166. It is a Pewter post-game show, and it is a happy Pewter post-game show as the Bucs begin the season 1-0 on the year as they defeated the Atlanta Falcons in a thrilling matchup, 23-20. That ended on a missed game-tying field goal by Egbuka. Prior to that, Egbuka had taken the lead for the Bucs on his second touchdown of the game with a minute to go. Tons of drama ensued, and we're going to break it all down on this evening's show. I'm your host, Matt Matera. Joined with me is Scott Reynolds, the face that runs the place at pewterreport.com. Holy crow. This was a roller coaster of emotions.
No doubt.
The first time the ball was kicked until the last time the ball was kicked. But the Bucs end up with the win.
Yeah, it certainly was an absolute barn burner. I mean, if you would have told me that Chase McLaughlin cost his team 4 points in this game, and Egbuka cost his team a chance to tie the game and go to overtime, I wouldn't have believed you. These are two really good kickers, but man, holy smokes, something in that building. Remember, Egbuka had a kick doink off the upright and go in. So I don't know. Something was happening with the mojo for those field goal kickers, and the Buccaneers benefited with the last-second miss by Egbuka, and thankfully they escape Atlanta with a win. It wasn't a perfect win by any means, but you know what? When you got swept by the Falcons last year, and you had to have the Falcon to reclaim the NFC South title, well, you know what? The Falcons falconed again. And boy, what a great place to start if you're the Tampa Bay Buccaneers. 1-0, not just 1-0, but 4-0 in Todd Bowles' 4 openers, right?
Yeah.
He has now won every single week 1 game as the Tampa Bay Buccaneers head coach, going back to Dallas in 2022, then Minnesota in 2023, and then, of course, last year with that win at home against Washington. So 3 out of his 4 week 1 wins have been on the road, but credit him for getting this team prepared. Was a little bit of luck? Yeah, sometimes you need it. But you know what? Both of these teams had multiple opportunities to win this game and put it away. And both of these teams had their share of week 1 blunders. This is going to be a building block for both of these teams, but it's always better to learn lessons from a win than a loss, Matt.
Yeah, Baker Mayfield said that after the game. And I felt there was definitely growing pains with this team, especially on the offensive side early on and really throughout the game. I was beginning to believe that Atlanta is just a house of horrors for Tampa Bay because Michael Penix Jr. looked pretty good at times, especially after that first drive. The Chase McLaughlin missed field goal and extra point was just absolutely mind-boggling considering how good he's been for Tampa Bay. And at the same time, what did Todd Bowles talk about a lot this offseason? And we spoke about it with some players here on the Pewter Report podcast. It was about finding that killer instinct.
Yeah.
And you can't say that the Bucs found killer instinct with Egbuka missing a field goal. That's not killer instinct. But
although Todd did call a timeout and ice the kicker.
Yes.
So there's that,
There is that. There was killer instinct in going for the win when they were down 3 instead of settling for the field goal. And if Chase McLaughlin kicks that extra point, we're probably saying, okay, the Bucs win by 4. They had that killer instinct because the defense was able to get the stop because the defense plays much different, but also never giving up as well. I was just as impressed with Zion McCollum. Well, there's things I didn't like about Zion McCollum, and it's getting his hands on the GD football. He's Jamel Dean 2.0, honestly, right now. But I did appreciate Zion. He got hurt at the goal line. Comes out, comes back in, gets that tackle for loss.
Huge.
Now, eventually, the Falcons did end up scoring, and that was a whole mishmash with Penix running and all of these things. but they never gave up.
That's right. They did.
Killer instinct with the touchdown, especially with an offense where Baker didn't have a good game throwing the football. He was running, but he still found a way. Egbuka was sensational.
Oh, my gosh.
As a rookie. But, yeah, I mean, this game, there were so many big momentous moments. I mean, Atlanta punches the Bucs in the mouth right away. And then, to me, the first time the Bucs really got that momentum, which eventually led to Egbuka having a sensational first game of his NFL career, it really started with me when Vita Vea got that stop on 4th and 1.
I agree.
That was the first big momentum changer of the day.
It was. And for Egbuka, folks, I mean, you probably watched our Pewter Report podcast dating back to training camp. I mean, Matt Matera and I weren't lying to you. This guy's the truth, man. Did he not look like Chris Godwin out there? Did he not look like Chris Godwin out there? I think he did. I mean, this is the game-winning touchdown catch. Perfect concentration, easy peasy, right on the money by Baker Mayfield. Just snagged it, scored a touchdown. No big deal. This guy's a rookie in his first game, 2 touchdowns. Great photo here by my stepbrother, Jeff Jones, who was in Atlanta taking this picture. But, I mean, we said that the Bucs offense wouldn't really miss a beat without Chris Godwin, and I think that was the case. The reason why they got off to a slow start was Baker Mayfield. He owned up to that. He says he just wasn't in rhythm in the first half, and that's understandable, right? I mean, he didn't play in the preseason. Sometimes it takes you a minute to warm up, although Michael Penix didn't have that problem.
No.
but 3 touchdowns, you'll take the end result over the opening quarter, right? I mean, it's not how you start, it's how you finish. And listen, I give the Buccaneers a ton of credit for being like ultra sly and sneaky and stealthy with Ben Bredeson at center, Michael Jordan, the practice squad guard, going in there at left guard, and Graham Barton at left tackle, his old position from Duke. I mean, this offensive line, this retooled, revamped offensive line, and folks, this is why they don't let the media into practice. Once training camp ends, you get to watch the first 30 minutes. It's warm-ups and calisthenics and maybe some individual drills. But when they go to the full team drills, the media leaves the field. We had no idea that Graham Barton would be getting the start, not at center, but at left tackle, that Michael Jordan, the practice squad player, would get elevated to not just provide depth, but to start at left guard. And then Ben Bredeson, who played center for the Giants, going back to that position. They only practiced with this lineup for 2 weeks. But Ben Bredeson did a phenomenal job snapping the ball. No errant snaps today, no penalties. And Graham Barton was rock solid.
He was.
It was like a Tristan Wirfs impersonation out there today by Graham Barton. Just a sensational job by 62 out there. With 2 weeks notice, hey, you're going back to your college position. That's crazy, but it worked.
Yeah, I think that, I think the biggest issue that the offensive line had, they struggled at times running the football. Like the first 2 drives, they went 3 and out, and it was tough sledding. Then they really got the running game going. But then I think Josh Grizzard got a little too predictable at times with running the football early. But then he set it up for the play action later on in the game. But to me, the offensive line's biggest issue was kind of when Atlanta continued to bring the house with the blitzes and stuff like that. There were some issues here and there, but Baker Mayfield's scrambling ability really counteracted that. And that just showed the greatness of Baker running to, get the Bucs a couple of first downs. But there really weren't too many times where Baker couldn't get a pass off because of the offensive line. So while it certainly wasn't pretty in several factors and facets of the game, I think you got to put a check mark next to the offensive line in terms of the overall concern. I guess we could say now, overall concern with not having Tristan Wirfs in the game. Because it was all about Charlie Heck until now it's not about Charlie Heck. So credit to Ben Bredeson, who has brought this versatility, having previously played center. Credit to Graham Barton. And, Michael Jordan was a training camp addition. He did not begin training camp with Tampa Bay. They signed him a couple of days into the summer because they had another offensive lineman just retire out of the blue. So they signed Michael Jordan. They signed McClellan as well. And it was a solid job by the offensive line. It wasn't fantastic or sensational, and neither was like the overall passing game for the Bucs, but they were able to get stuff done. So kudos to them. Doesn't get any easier with the Texans and the Jets coming up, although the Jets allowed 30 points today, or 32. But I think you got to be happy with the glaring concern outside of the receivers not being available was the offensive line, and they did enough today to get the job done.
Yeah, 101 yards. Granted, 39 of that was Baker Mayfield, especially on a 20-yard scramble, right? Yeah. So you didn't want your quarterback to lead your team in rushing, but they still averaged 4.4 yards on the ground. Bucky Irving, 37 yards on 14 carries. Wasn't spectacular. Had a couple of nice runs in there. Rachaad White, 2 carries, 14 yards. Rachaad probably would have had a touchdown. What a beautiful call on that screen to Rachaad White. He just gets tripped up. That would have been a touchdown. I thought Josh Grizzard's week 1 play calling was pretty solid today. And I think, too, with the Falcons not being able to run the ball, right? They had 69 yards, 2.5 yards per carry. Again, Penix accounted for 21 of those yards. So you didn't see too much of Tyler Algier, 10 carries, 24 yards, 12 carries for 24 yards for Bijan Robinson. He hurt them in the passing game more so than the ground game. But I think the offensive line for the Buccaneers played better as a result. Either team, or I should say both teams, only had 1 sack allowed. Tampa Bay did have a sack taken off the board with the Jamel Dean face mask penalty. Right. Yaya Diaby had the first sack of the season, but it was called back. But still, overall, you have to be happy with this week 1 win. It puts you in the driver's seat in the NFC South. The Bucs are not going to have an NFC South game for a long time. So this is a good start for this team. Week 1 loss wouldn't have been fatal to Atlanta.
Sure.
But at least a couple things. You start 1-0, you're in the driver's seat. You win your season opener, you feel good about that. Going on the road, you've got an extra day to prepare and rest because it's a Monday night game against the Houston Texans next week. And then I think the other thing, too, is I feel better about Graham Barton at left tackle against Daniil Hunter or Will Anderson Jr. We were talking about, is Charlie Heck going to be up to the task in week 2? I feel better about Graham Barton if Tristan Wirfs doesn't come back by next week. Our own Cliff Welch, our photographer, was on the sidelines talking to Tristan, and he said he's really, really close to returning. So we shall see how quickly Tristan Wirfs returns. Is it going to be this week? It's certainly going to be by the Jets, I think. I think Tristan's going to be back sooner rather than later. But we have some super chats to get to, Matt. We have a lot of people waiting to comment. Let's dive right into those. Y'all came loud and proud.
We want to give like a little bit of our breakdown. But again, this is your guys' show too. Yeah. So like, there's so many things to talk about, but there's so many super chats that like we could talk about everything that kind of gets into it as well.
Yep.
Also, as we start with the super chats and everything, and thank you so much for everybody that is watching us right now. Yes. The Bucs officially are in sole possession of first place in the NFC South because obviously they defeated Atlanta. It just went final. There's a weather delay, but Jacksonville beat Carolina.
Liam Cohen, the Fighting Cohens beat the Fighting Dave Callises.
The battle of the former Bucs offensive coordinators turned head coaches. And the Saints lost to the Cardinals today. So Bucs 1-0 in the NFC South. Anyway, Rich B, who's now been a Pewter Report YouTube channel member for 11 months. Thank you so much. Says, think Baker was a bit rusty after no reps in the preseason, but always take a win over division rivals, however ugly they are. Need to get Mike involved early and often next week. Egbuka is legit. Yes. Go Bucs. Right. Like, again, there's still so much to go in the season. Like, I know there's some defensive issues that we'll talk about, but offensively, Mike's going to get more involved.
Yeah.
Baker even said it today. He's like, that touchdown for Egbuka to win the game, that was set up by the coverage they had specifically on Mike Evans, where the safety was paying attention to Mike. Therefore, Egbuka got the one-on-one coverage, and therefore the Bucs got the go-ahead touchdown.
Yeah,
I thought Mike was very important too on that final drive. Right before the 2-minute warning, he caught the ball to get the first down to get the Bucs to midfield. So
that's right.
Mike was certainly involved. It wasn't like a blowout, insane type of game. We still know Mike certainly has that in him. He still ended up with 51 yards. So
for sure,
even if he gets 50 yards per game, I think he would still be kind of close to getting to 1,000 yards. And 51 yards on a slow game for Mike Evans is not so bad, Bucs.
Yeah, he averaged 10.2 yards per catch. It wasn't crazy good, right? But Drake London had 15 targets. He's their version of Mike Evans. 15 targets, only 8 catches. So he didn't catch half of them and only had 55 yards. So he averaged 6.9 yards per catch. So really the guy that hurt the Bucs in the passing game is Bijan Robinson, 6 catches, 100 yards, including that 50-yard touchdown. But I thought Tampa Bay's defense really settled in well after that 50-yard touchdown.
Oh, totally agree.
And we'll get into SirVocea Dennis. It was a mixed bag with SirVocea. Just when you're ready to just
write him off,
strangle the guy and get him off the field, he made some plays today, right? He finished with 10 tackles, including 2 tackles for loss. Young guy. It's going to take some time to get his feet wet. Remember, he was a platoon player last year. This was his first wire-to-wire start since the Colts game, I think, last year or 2 years ago when he was a rookie filling in for Levante David. So he was the Mike today. And this was a learning curve for him in some respects, but some really bad plays and a couple really good ones too.
And he showed up in the fourth quarter.
Yes,
so I think you got to give him credit for that.
Yeah,
for sure. JD Foster, thank you for the $6.99 super chat. Sloppy win, but we'll take it. Egbuka is special. Is Dennis a bit undersized for inside linebacker? Antoine Winfield Jr. saved us at the end. Chase will bounce back.
Yep.
What a game. Yeah, Antoine Winfield Jr., I mean, that could have been
hero
demoralizing if the Falcons scored a touchdown there at the end.
Yeah.
And he kind of even smirked after he broke up the play. SirVocea Dennis, ultimately, you just said a mixed bag, which I agree with. I don't think after one game we can panic about SirVocea Dennis. Now, if it's the first month and it's like this, then I think that's time for another conversation.
Yeah.
But he had more moments. And if you remember, when SirVocea was a rookie, he had a terrible preseason game then ended up being fine. So I have a feeling we're going to be on that trajectory as well with him.
Yeah. This, he hasn't played football really outside of a couple of preseason snaps since week 4 last year. And this was his first wire-to-wire start as a middle linebacker. And, it's going to take a little bit of time. We talked about Michael Penix only having 3 NFL starts heading into this game. Kind of the same thing for SirVocea Dennis in some respects. So he'll get better.
Samuel Fisher, thank you for the $5 super chat. When the Falcons player ran into Chase earlier, did the game did it injure his leg in any way, or was the point after attempt miss just an anomaly and he is fine?
No, that's a good question because Todd Bowles was freaking out about that, as he should have been, because you're not allowed to hit the kicker, especially his plant foot, and that would be he's right-footed, so that would be his kicking leg. But still, I mean, he hit the side of his knee on his right leg when he swung the ball through. So I'm shocked. Well, actually, I'm not. NFL officiating sucks, so I'm not shocked. But it should have been a penalty for sure on that play.
I don't think we can panic about Chase McLaughlin yet because he's built up enough credibility of being a very good kicker. The game sucked for him, but if he screws up again on Monday Night Football, then I think we can come back to this conversation.
I agree.
Brian Shucker, thank you for the $5 super chat. Says Zion can't catch a friggin' cold, even the one that wouldn't have counted. I was more pissed about that one, even though it wouldn't have counted because of the passing or the roughing the passer penalty on Vita Vea. Dude's Jamel Dean 2.0. At least in that category of it. I mean, he had pretty good coverage today. He certainly made a great tackle in the run game. But, dude, come on. I mean, again, if we're going to get on Jamel Dean for all of these things, we got to get on it for Zion, too.
That's right.
That was a field goal for Atlanta that he dropped.
That's right.
That would have been a turnover for Tampa Bay. That's 3 points off the board. Again, you're not in this situation. Zion's got to catch the damn ball. These are layups. They are cans of corn.
I will say, on the first one, the ball bounced off of Vita Vea's helmet and came at an odd trajectory. That's one of those where he literally was trying to catch it in self-defense. But I agree, man. Hey, you're going to be a $16 million man.
Right.
You got to make $16 million plays, right? The ball did hit him in the chest. He's got to catch it. No excuses. It wasn't an easy one. That wasn't like, that one wasn't a layup, I don't think. But still, that was.
Well, the second one was, and I know it wouldn't have counted, but
that wasn't a layup, Matt. But he was 5 feet away from the rim, so pretty much,
So I like. Listen, friend of the program, we like Zion, but I mean, it's terrible at this point.
Yeah,
he's better at forcing fumbles than he is getting interceptions.
So far,
Rich B, thanks for the $2 super chat. Plus, what a hit by Winfield. Game saver. Absolutely. And people were like, where's Antoine Winfield Jr.? Where's Antoine Winfield Jr.? There's Antoine Winfield Jr.
Yeah. I mean, to me, I don't know about you guys. When I'm watching that play, it's like, from the camera angle, the TV angle, you see the receiver wide open. And it's like, cue the Celine Dion music, nothing to fear, and just boom, just uncorks a huge hit on the Falcons receiver and just dislodges the ball. That was a massive play. He came out of nowhere to make that play, and just an absolute hero play. And hopefully we see a lot more of them, because the Bucs need him to be a hero this year if they're going to go where they want to go.
Yeah, that's the first highlight play of Antoine Winfield Jr., especially given the magnitude of the game. So maybe didn't show up early on, but when it was crunch time, he certainly did. JD Foster, thanks for this 279 super chat, says this team with a healthy Egbuka, Godwin, J-Mac, and Evan. Oh my God, when Chris Godwin gets back here, like Sterling Shepard had some nice moments, don't get me wrong, and it's nice to see Ryan Miller get involved. Tez Johnson, he wasn't not the best Johnson for the Bucs today. That was certainly Cameron Johnson, which we have not talked about yet. An electric punt return that set up a touchdown for the Bucs. But when Chris Godwin comes back, and of course when Jalen McMillan gets back too, but when Godwin returns, those three as your top wide receivers, oh my God! I mean, we got a glimpse of it today with just Mike and Emeka Egbuka, but. Well, holy moly, when they get all four back, I mean, watch out, world. Seriously. Like, I'm not even saying that with hyperbole.
Yeah, and I think the beauty of this, Matt, is there's some forgiveness. If Chris Godwin comes back this year and he's not the Chris Godwin of yesteryear, right? And it takes him a year to kind of get back into being that special player. If Chris Godwin comes back as just a chain-moving possession receiver this year, that doesn't get a bunch of yards after catch, but will find the soft spot in the zone, curl down, and get you 9 yards when you need 8 and move the chains, that's good enough, because we've seen some spectacular plays already from Emeka Egbuka. So if Godwin comes back this year without these spectacular plays, if he's just a possession guy, that's fine, because they have that spectacular guy in Emeka. And then when Chris does come back to being that guy, that $20+ million receiver, hopefully it's this year. If it's not, it'll be next year. Even better for the Buccaneers.
Yeah, it's like you have Coke, Diet Coke. It's kind of like Diet Chris Godwin, but Diet Chris Godwin is still way better of an upgrade than what Tampa Bay has as, their third string wide receiver right now. And I'm not, trying to naysay Sterling Shepard or Tez Johnson or stuff like that. We're talking about Chris Godwin Jr. here.
That's right.
Buckeye89, thank you for the $10 super chat, says, yes, sir. Fire those cannons, crew. Victory Monday incoming.
That's right.
I love/hate divisional games. 1-0 feels good. Yeah, Scott, there's something to that divisional games. Doesn't matter how good or bad your division rival is. You can look at Bucs Saints last season when Mike Evans got over 1,000 yards. These games are close one way or another. Now, the Bucs still did hit their cover of -2.5 or -2, and the under still hit. But it's definitely a nail biter. There's no doubt about it.
Go back to that Panthers game last year in Carolina, overtime, right? They had to go to overtime to win that game. So I'm with you. It's fun though, folks. I mean, you want to be entertained. They're going to entertain you in the NFC South. Win or lose, good team or bad team, it will be a fist fight. Two teams will get bloodied. One will emerge, and today it was your Tampa Bay Buccaneers.
Jordy Peterson, thank you for the $4.99 super chat, says, I was wrong on the sacks and the interception. However, Dennis did answer to that benching. A lot of promise from the team. A lot to fix. Go Bucs. So the pressure on Michael Penix, it was once again, I was like, where have I seen this before? It's like close but no cigar, getting so close, so close. But there was a couple times the Bucs collided into each other, and that led to Penix escaping. Hassan Reddick did what they wanted him to do, which is get the sack on third down. Remember, they were at the goal line. That could have been a touchdown for Atlanta. We're talking about a different game. He got that sack on third down, cashed that prop bet, by the way, and also forced a field goal. It wasn't pretty. It wasn't great. There's still some concerns.
Right.
But you feel better about it after seeing the finished product with Hassan Reddick in the mix.
Yeah, I agree. And I think for Savasier Dennis, I mean, this is a great form tackle he made on a leaping Tyler Algier. Again, there was some good and some bad, right? There was some plays here. 10 tackles, 2 tackles for loss. He did get out athleted. There's not many linebackers that are going to stay with Bijan Robinson out in the flat. There just aren't. And he's not that kind of guy. I think he's better, honestly, doing what Todd Bowles did last year, which is spot drop. I think he's a better spot drop linebacker across the middle where he can see the play develop in front of him and rally and make a tackle, or maybe a pick, or maybe a pass breakup, running out to the flat against a first-round pick. Remember, this is a fifth-round linebacker here. I'm not saying he can't play in this league,
right?
But Bijan Robinson, is a potential, I would say, generational talent. But he's a damn good back. He's not Saquon Barkley, but he's a damn good back, and he's an all-purpose back that can catch out of the backfield, make you miss, and we saw that. He looked like he was, on the varsity team going up against high school freshmen on that 50-yard touchdown. They were just Buccaneer defenders flailing and flying everywhere trying to tackle him, and it just was comical. But thankfully, the Buccaneers settled in after that, and I think did a much better job of slowing down Bijan Robinson.
Yeah, the Bucs did a great job shutting down him as a rusher. But there's not many more things terrifying than Bijan Robinson out in space, and he certainly got the better of the Bucs on that touchdown to open up the game. Yeah. We have a gift from Hezo813, who's gifting 5 Pewter Report memberships.
Thank you.
To awesome. People watching this show. So thank you, Hezo813. That is mighty kind of you. And we really
appreciate that.
Appreciate all of your support. Nicola Legistina, thanks for the $4.99 super chat, says, would love to know why Todd called a timeout on that Tez catch, allowing it to be reviewed. He did talk about it after the game. He said that they got one angle that was told to him that it was a catch. So that's why they called the timeout. But then apparently there was like an alternate angle that, certainly the Falcons looked at and decided to challenge. I don't know who told Todd Bowles that that it was a catch, because you could see it clear as day on the first review that it wasn't. So
initially it was ruled a catch on the field. So there's that. And each ref on the sidelines, they're not the active refs, they're the replay assist refs, right? They're getting information from New York, from the central command, if you will. And what the ref said to Bowles was right. He's like, it's been ruled a catch, right? Yeah. And so Bowles like, okay, it's been ruled a catch. But then, like you said, Matt, then they showed the other angle, and then all of a sudden it wasn't, and it was clear as day. And so just some unfortunate, circumstance there for Bowles in the timeout. Thankfully, it didn't end up making a difference at the end of the day. This team still got the win. Yeah. But yeah, something to be concerned about going forward, is the usage of the timeouts. But I thought Todd did a pretty good job there.
Yes.
I think Zach
there was
did a good job.
Yeah, there was a great argument in the first half towards the end. I thought the Bucs did a good job with the timeouts. Yeah, where they called one, and they weren't able to score. Like they had 40 seconds left because the offense just didn't get the job done.
That's right.
But people were complaining about Bowles and those timeouts, and I was like, "What are you talking about? Like he's saving time, and they still had one timeout left with the minute." That's really all you could ask for with your offense in that situation, because it was either that or 20 seconds and 3 timeouts.
Yeah. And Chase McLaughlin had missed at that point in time, and you feel good about getting a field goal, perhaps. He's a long-range kicker.
Yeah. Like, I'd rather have the more time and the one timeout than. Yeah. But anyway, Brian Shucker, thank you for this $10 super chat, who says, Scott, when did that decision with the line happen? Did they find Heck to be that bad?
Well, I'm doing some digging on that, but it was not abrupt. This was something literally right after training camp, right after that Bills preseason game. They had spent the last 2 weeks practicing that, and from what I understand, they wanted to go to an emergency situation. Something happened to Charlie Heck, right? Are you going to go with Michael Jordan at left tackle? Probably not. He's more of a guard than he is a tackle. He didn't play that good at right tackle in the preseason. Are you going to put Ben Chukwuma out there with scant experience from his Georgia State days? That's a tough assignment to do for any rookie in his first NFL game. So Graham Barton had the most experience, who was a couple-year starter at Duke as a left tackle. And when they made that lineup change, it was to test for an emergency situation. And it worked out so well in practice. They were like, that's interesting. And as Todd Bowles said after the game, they liked Graham Barton's ability to really get push in the run game. He's got quicker feet and pass protection. He's just a better player. Yeah, I had a Bucs contact tell me after the game that he is a starting caliber left tackle in this league. Okay. So I guess that means when Tristan Wirfs comes back, he moves to center, right, Matt? I mean,
maybe.
Just kidding, of course. But But that's how strongly they felt about it. It started off as an experiment, as a backup plan, and they're like, wow, this actually looks good. Let's stick with this lineup and see what happens in week 1. And boy, did it work out today.
I'm curious as well because you have versatility wonder boy Elijah Klein that's played everywhere, but they didn't go to Elijah Klein in that moment to start at guard after with Barton at tackle and Bredesen at center. They opted for Michael Jordan. Intrigued by that too, but of course it was the right move for Tampa Bay. They did a solid job with that O-line.
They did,
Paul, aka OG Baker Bro, thank you for the $5 super chat. Says shout out to Wrong Way, Koo. Baker rusty and not his best, but still 3 touchdowns and no interceptions.
That's right.
Yeah, the box score is going to look a lot more favorable for Baker when people look back on this game.
No
How
doubt.
bad is Charlie Heck that our offensive line was impacted at 3 positions? I think we kind of just answered that part of it. But yeah, Baker, I will say, not his best throwing game, showed his guts, his grit, and the true makeup of Baker Mayfield, which is like rushing to get those first downs when not everything's open. And then in crunch time, Baker delivered. That's all you can ask for. You get the ball with just 2:10 to go. With 2:10 to go, you drive down the field and you score a touchdown with 59 seconds remaining. The Bucs should have never been in that situation to potentially go to overtime. But, that's Baker for you.
That's
Gritty,
right.
Game on the line, give it his all, guts. Not pretty, but it ends with a win. So I think you got to be happy with that. Paul, a.k.a. OG Baker Bro, has also gifted 5 Pewter Report memberships. Thank you so much for your kindness as well.
That's fantastic. Thank you.
Yeah, Henry Gigante with a $4.99 super chat. Sloppy play, but a win is a win. Refs were dragging in Atlanta all the way there in the second half. So I'm still confused by a couple of things. Again, I don't have the volume on when I'm doing the Pewter Game Day show.
Yeah.
First of all, the final drive for Atlanta when they took the lead, that was helped by 30 yards of penalties by the Bucs. And you can complain if you want to about, that's not a pass interference. Like, what's the call? This is not the NFL from 10 years ago. It sure as hell is not the NFL from 20 to 25 years ago. Those hits are going to be called as penalties. Right. I'm not saying it's fair. I don't know what to tell Vita Vea when he's going full speed. How am I supposed to slow down?
Right.
But at this point, they're going to be called. But I still don't understand the whole Michael Penix Jr. play when he fumbled it into the end zone. Because to me, he's diving head first. He didn't reach the end zone. The ball is loose. That's either a touchback or a touchdown. Now, Antonio Field Jr. had a foot out of bounds. So I think it would have been a touchback.
Yeah.
But to say he was ruling down when he dove head first.
Yeah, he did. And what they said was whenever a runner dives forward, he's giving himself up. So the minute he hits the ground, the play is over, essentially, right? So so he was diving for the pylon, fell short of that, but he still had possession of the ball across the plane when his shoulder hit, and then the ball came loose. So the minute his shoulder hit, the play is actually over, which riddle me this. When you catch the ball and do a couple steps into the end zone and you fall on the ground and then you don't complete the catch, that's somehow like not a catch. It didn't happen in this game today, but I'm just saying it's like, I just don't understand. At some point in time, the play has to be over. And that's essentially what the refs were saying is like, hey, the minute his shoulder hit and the ground can't cause a fumble and it was over. So that was the explanation. In the end, it didn't matter. Your Tampa Bay Buccaneers got the win. I will say this, though, about Michael Penix. He is going to be a problem, and that's not just me saying that. Baker Mayfield said that after the game. He said he's going to be a problem in this division for a long time. He's young, but he's got it. And this kid does have it. Atlanta has found their quarterback. There's no doubt about it. This kid had showed tremendous amount of poise in his 4th NFL start. Really didn't get rattled today. I thought the Buccaneers could have done a better job of pressuring him and getting some sacks. And Todd Bowles even said that they left some sacks on the field today. They're going to get better as they become a more tighter, cohesive unit up front.
I agree.
It wasn't good enough today. Yeah, it wasn't good enough today, but certainly some promise was shown. Yaya Diaby had a couple of hits, tackles for loss, had a sack taken off the board.
Did have a sack, yeah. the Falcons are way more of a threat now than they were.
That's right.
Before this game, because Michael Penix Jr. did look really good.
Yeah.
He's 0813. Thanks for the $5 super chat. Says, gonna enjoy the win today. However, I can't help but be concerned with our 4-man pass rush. Hopefully that improves later in the year. It definitely left more to be desired. I hate the close but no cigar thing, because that's kind of been the staple. And you know what? All week I was like, Michael Penix is not mobile at all. Like, the Bucs should be able to get to him. And then bam, he scrambles for that first down. He scrambles for the touchdown at the end. So a little bit of egg on my face with that one. But again, Hassan Reddick, I think, is still going to be a menace. They double teamed him a lot.
Yeah.
And I think when you get more opportunities for Hassan Reddick, weirdly enough, like, he'll be going against better offensive tackles, but he'll get more one-on-one opportunities.
Yes, I agree.
And in a weird way, that'll help him more than against a third string with a chip or a double team. So.
Also, too, Matt, like on the touchdown pass that Bijan Robinson caught, right? We saw that formation in training camp. We saw Logan Hall playing defensive end, Yaya Diaby on the left side, not the right side. Hassan Reddick at the linebacker level in the slot, right? And Bulls called both of those guys to essentially rush the passer, obviously Diaby, as he's on the line of scrimmage. But then they sent Reddick out there, and Michael Penix read it perfectly. I thought the offensive line picked it up really well. But I thought the Bucs rushed better when the gimmicks were out of there, and they just said, Yaya's on the right side, Hassan's on the left side, with Vita and Kalijah in the middle. And I think there's too much gimmicks and wrinkles in the first quarter. And once the Buccaneers kind of got settled into just their regular 4-man rush, I thought it showed more signs of life. There was some great escape artist plays by Penix.
Yeah.
No doubt. But the first quarter, it just didn't hit me right. All of those little gimmicks that Bulls was cooking up just didn't really work. And we saw those in training camp, and they didn't come to fruition today with any positive results.
Yeah, I thought sometimes, too, they went too hard with, like, okay, it's third and medium, third and long. We're going to put Levante and Servassier up on the line of scrimmage. Are they going to blitz? Are they going to blitz? And then, like, they never blitz. They always drop back every single time.
That's right.
And I thought they did a little bit too much of that disguise, where it's like, just keep them back a little bit.
Yeah.
So, again, one game. We'll see what adjustments are made. LDBC's Most Wanted. Thank you for the $4.99 super chat. Says, Saludos, Pewter Report. I'm impressed by the O-line. Barton looked good at left tackle. Also impressed by Hassan Reddick. He made an impact on the game. Yeah, I thought Hassan Reddick looked good stopping the run as well. He was good at crashing down when the opportunity presented itself. Also, in terms of stopping the run, we've talked about this before with other teams. It's crazy to me. Atlanta, like when Vita Vea got the stop on 4th and 1, great job by the Bucs.
Right.
But why are you lining up in shot? It's to the benefit of the Bucs.
I agree.
Why are you lining up in shotgun, giving the Bucs an opportunity to tackle you 2 yards behind the line of scrimmage? It's mind-boggling. But hey, their misfortune is the gain of the Bucs.
Yep.
Kevin Thomas gives us a $20 super chat. Thank you so much, Kevin. We really appreciate that. Thank you.
Yep.
Bucs Basement with the $5 super chat. It says, enjoy the fact that Koo choked. Does not erase some awful coaching decisions from Bowles. Suspect offensive play calling in the first half. And middle linebacker is a problem.
It's early, folks. They only played a couple of plays in the preseason. And it's a long season, right? There's 16 more games. So there's going to be some improvements made. This was Josh Grizzard's first game as a play caller. This was Todd Bowles' first game with Zach Beislein as the game management guy. This was Servassier Dennis's first start at middle linebacker, replacing KJ Britt from last year. Sometimes you're going to have some growing pains. Trust me, Raheem Morris is saying the exact same thing. There's a lot of things that Falcons could have done better and differently in this game as well. There's some plays Michael Penix wishes he had back, and he had a pretty good game, right? But, be happy with the win. It's always better to learn lessons from wins than it is losses. And we'll see what happens next week on Monday Night Football against the Houston Texans.
I already can't wait for that. Joel Orican, thanks for gifting 5 Pewter Report memberships. This is a great opportunity for everybody to subscribe to Pewter Report TV, our YouTube channel. We have tons and tons of content, not just the podcast. You got Scott's Pewter Pulses. Adam does top 10 takeaways. I have the show Pewter Picks and Props, which, by the way, I was right on the Bucs covering and the under and hit several player props in that one. Various inside the Bucs videos as well. So it's more than just a podcast on our YouTube channel. So make sure you subscribe to Pewter Report TV. Architect 79 with a $1.99 super chat. Thank you. Says it's not all doom, but the pass rush looks the same. I thought some things that look the same that were a bit alarming is, again, getting close but not able to seal the deal. Yeah. And the short to intermediate throws on third down that go for first downs. Now, there were some tighter coverage. Jamel Dean played tighter coverage.
He played really well today. I thought he played really well. Solid. Outside of the face mask that negated a sack, I thought he played really, really well.
Yeah. So there are certain things to clean up. Certainly over the middle of the field is still a bit of an issue for the Bucs. But again, after the first drive of the game, when the Falcons just went down the field and, felt like 2.5 seconds, they didn't allow another touchdown until much, much later in the game. And Penix ran for his life in that moment. In today's NFL, you got to hope, you got to get some stops for sure and turnovers. But any drive that does not end in a touchdown, to me, is a win, especially when you look at what the Bucs have on the offensive side.
Yeah. So. Speaking of wins, this Bucs win wasn't the only big win in the state of Florida this weekend. Your Tampa Bay Buccaneers won, the Dolphins lost, and the Jacksonville Jaguars got a win. But there's another win that was really close to home. Sorry, Gators fans, but the USF Bulls had a big win in the Swamp.
Was hit as he threw.
September 20th at noon, Raymond James Stadium, the USF Bulls, who are ranked 18th right now. Holy smokes. 18th.
Let's go.
After 2 back-to-back wins against Boise State and against the Florida Gators, they got a big game in Miami against the Hurricanes. But they're going to be playing the South Carolina Bulldogs at home for their next home game. Why don't you go check them out? They're a fun team to watch on offense and defense. And they got Nico Grammatica, Martine's son, who kicked the game winner. USFBullsTix.com. USFBullsTix.com. Make sure you get your tickets. And I can't wait to see the Bulls. I'm going to be seeing them. I might go to that game, but I'm going to be seeing them play FAU in their homecoming game. So I'm super excited about that. Get your tickets, USFBullsTix.com. Alex Golish has got a fun team this year.
It's fun to rally around them, and awesome win over Florida. So, check out the games and enjoy a ranked college football team with USF. Okay, where did we leave off? I believe we're on to Buckeye 89. Thank you for the $5 super chat, who says, although I question the pick in the first round at the moment, as an Ohio State fan, I also knew they were getting a stud/steal with the Mecca. Kudos to Jason Light. He was everything that we advertised during training camp. Wasn't the most unreal stat line for sure, but 2 touchdowns, a clutch game-winning touchdown. Had a nice run as well on a sneaky little running play that went for 9 yards. Egbuka has quickly put himself into the conversation of Offensive Rookie of the Year. Yeah. And I'm very happy about that.
Here's the thing, Matt. Jalen McMillan had 8 touchdowns last year, and we're like, wow, what a great start for the rookie, right? 8 touchdowns. Egbuka's already got 2. So who knows how many he's going to end up with? I mean, Chris Godwin's earliest he's going to return is the Seahawks game in week 5. So Egbuka's going to have 4 more games where he's going to be that featured slot receiver, and he's going to pile up the catches, yards, and touchdowns.
I think we may have gotten to Joel Regan gifting 5 Pewter Report memberships. Thank you.
Yes.
Architect 79. Believe we got to that one as well about the pass rush. So Paul, aka OG Baker Bro, with the $2 super chat. Thank you. Says Barton stays at left tackle, Wirfs to center with the laughing crying emoji.
Yeah.
BC Florida has just became a Pewter Report YouTube
BC
channel member. That's awesome. Thank you. Also, we appreciate the Bucs stop here with a $2 super chat. Thank you very much. Paul Bowen, $4.99, appreciate it. Says, had a mean Falcons fan cuss me out when we were walking out.
Yeah.
They were big, mad, fire the cannons. Yeah. That's right. you were watching the pregame show today. We appreciate that. Then got to enjoy the Bucs win. I hope you had a fantastic time outside of the fan cussing at you. But hell yeah, you got to see the Bucs start the season 1-0.
And the Falcons, we talk about the Falcons. They choke. They lose close games, and they've lost now 3 in a row dating back to last year. They lost in overtime to the Commanders game. They lost to the Panthers at home in overtime, and they've lost this one. These are close games that are winnable for Atlanta, and they can't pull it off.
Mark Fisher, thanks for the $4.99 super chat, says, 1, have you all ever heard about the non-fumble fumble rule? I thought pressure on Penix was too lacking. Your thoughts?
Well, I think, too, that he escaped up the middle a little bit more than they were expecting. And certainly on that touchdown run, that was a hero play by Michael Penix, man. It really was. So, I don't know. He's a first-round pick for a reason. He's a damn good player. Look what he did at Washington. He's a very good player. He's like Baker Mayfield. He's not a Lamar Jackson type scrambler, probably not even Pat Mahomes, but he can wiggle. He can scoot. He can pick up big plays with his feet, and he showed the ability to do that. So I'm scared to death of this kid. He's going to be a good one. The Saints, not so much. And honestly, I'm not sold on Bryce Young yet. I'm just not.
I took the over in Panthers Jaguars, thinking that Dave Canales had finally figured out Bryce Young, and I'm not blaming Dave Canales, and I certainly wasn't watching the game that closely. But I mean, what the heck, Carolina? Just nothing, a dud on the offensive side, not even hanging close with the Jaguars. And I thought the Panthers had a chance to overtake the Falcons. Now it's 1 week, and we're all going to overreact to everything, but not great out of the gates for Carolina, which is music to the Bucs fans' ears. Jose Banda, thank you for the $4.99 super chat, who says Jacob Parrish's ability to get off a block and make a tackle was impressive today. Yeah, I thought he played pretty tight coverage, made a good tackle early on, just missed on that throw to Ray McLeod on the last play. That one, I'm sure he'd like to have back. But he was another player that brought over the success he had in the preseason and training camp. It looked like the same guy in the regular season against tougher competition. And the Bucs have their answer in the slot. There's no question about it.
The moment was not too big for him. I'm going to check on his eligibility, see if he can play for K-State on Saturdays, because Lord knows we need his help. And then maybe play for the Bucs on Sunday.
Bucs Basement, thank you for the $2 super chat. Lowlights for the game: Dean, Dennis, and Chase.
I don't know. I thought Jamel Dean played pretty good football today. I mean,
it was glaring with the penalty.
Yes, there's no doubt. But really, outside of that, I thought he didn't get victimized. I thought his coverage was good. He did a good job of not getting a penalty down the stretch on that play. Where it was like the shot to the end zone. I thought he played okay. I really do. And there was a penalty called on him that was offsetting penalties on that 4th down. But I think Servassier Dennis was the guy that was really.
Yeah, I think they messed up there. It was definitely on that, because they threw it like as Bijan was getting into the end zone.
Right.
Chase, definitely a low light. I mean, the game's on the line, and he missed the extra point that would have made it 4. And Dennis, there's definitely a point to be made. Joel Regan, thanks for the $5 super chat, says, what sound does a crying Falcon fan make? Boo-coo.
That's great. That's fantastic.
I
will say this about Servassier Dennis, Matt. I want to get your thoughts. Servassier did not have a great game today, but he did make some plays. But for every wrong that KJ Britt made today, would KJ Britt have made the play instead? That's the first part of the question. And the second part of the question is, with the 10 tackles he did make, plus the 2 tackles for loss, with all of the good plays that Servassier Dennis would have made, Matt, could KJ Britt have made those exact same plays?
I mean, KJ Britt sure as hell is not catching Bijan Robinson.
Right.
And I think as the season goes along, we'll see, like, that Bijan play was more, like, not many people are getting Bijan in that moment.
Yeah.
Tackle for loss, KJ Britt was always better at stopping the run than he was defending the pass. Servassier still has more speed, and there are certain things that he missed. I still think it's an upgrade over what KJ Britt had, but there were some mistakes. I'm telling you, I think Servassier Dennis is going to have the same trajectory that he had at the beginning of his career, which was bad preseason game, much better from then on. I think it'll be the same with him as a starter. Now, he's got to stay healthy. We're not out of those woods yet, but I think the Bucs have an upgrade for sure.
I agree.
Malcolm Harvey, thanks for the $4.99. Head scratching that we called the timeout after questionable catch by Tez. I agree with that. Todd Bowles said he was told other things
Yeah.
But, yeah, I mean, it was just a tough look. You call a timeout. It gives the Falcons more time, and then they challenge it.
Yeah.
The Bridge, thanks for the $9.99 super chat. Am I too harsh on the Bucs for not being real excited with this win? I know it's a huge win, but even with their injuries, I feel like they're much better than today. So for the second part of that, they're absolutely better than what they showed today. Never apologize for a win.
Exactly.
There were times where the Bucs won 2 games in an entire season. There was a decade where the Bucs did not make the playoffs.
That's right.
Enjoy every single win that you get as a fan, no matter how it happens.
Yep.
The New York Jets today lost on a 60-yard field goal to lose.
Brutal.
2 great friends of mine got engaged yesterday, and they went to the Jets game today. And I'm like, there's no way the Jets can lose. Nick and Nicole got engaged. And they sat there in the pouring rain watching the Jets lose. Which I'm only bringing that up because the Bucs do play the Jets in 2 weeks. But long story short, there's a lot of misery that goes around in the NFL.
That's
right. The Bucs are not a miserable team. They are a fun, exciting, winning football team that has made the postseason since 2020. They have a Super Bowl and several division titles. Enjoy it. You can critique. We're critiquing, but enjoy it. That's pretty much my message to everybody.
I'm with you.
Jefferson Tugboat, thank you for the $5 super chat. After the Pitts catch, in quotations, on 3rd down and the Penix dive on 4th and 1, I have to admit, I just don't know the rules anymore.
I don't either.
Or what the rules are.
It's a week-to-week odyssey.
I just can't
with the refs.
The painstaking, like, over and over and over. Like, I would have thought we were going to be doing the podcast tonight at 7 o'clock. Just by how freaking long it takes for all these things. Yeah,
exactly.
Jamie Miles, thanks for the $2 super chat. Says Baker and company rusty. 2 MPJ Michael Penix Jr. is going to be a problem.
Yes,
definitely. Credit to Michael Penix Jr. and the Falcons because we laughed when they made that draft pick, and now it's looking pretty good.
It's worked out for him.
KGH Faux Life, thank you for the $5 super chat. 3rd down defense reared its ugly head. I agree with that. Is it coaching or personnel? I'm just sick and tired of this.
I'll say this. The Buccaneers were 7 of 14 on 3rd down, 50%. That's Josh Grizzard's offense. The Falcons were 6 of 15, which is 40% on 3rd down. Matter of fact, the Falcons had to rely on 4th down a lot. They were 3 of 4 on 4th down. Tampa Bay was 1 of 1. So I thought they were okay on 3rd down. Some drives better than others for sure. And, when you add up the 3rd down and the 4th down percentage, it's getting closer to 50, 55%. So there's certainly room for improvement. And I think that's something that will improve over time. This is the first game for the starters on both sides, right? This is week 1. It's not going to be pretty across the board. You saw some teams in high-scoring shootouts. You saw other teams in low-scoring nail-biters. That's just how it is in week 1. It's up for grabs. There's more upsets and there's more close calls in week 1 probably than any other week.
That's very, very true. It's very true. You always see some type of big week 1 upset, and it wasn't the Bucs, so that's good.
Yeah.
Austin Fisher, thanks for the $9.99 super chat. Says, Younghoe Koo going to get cut. Falcon fans punching the air right now. I'd be pissed. The highs and lows of that game, walking out of that stadium after seeing your kicker miss a field goal to tie the game up. It's not easy. Not easy for sure. Thomas Moore, thanks for the $9.99. Says, Dennis was 50-50 at best, struggling more in pass coverage. Bucs DBs dropped key picks. Baker was off, and 25 got burned late. Should have used a 3-headed running back monster more. Kicking game, thumbs down.
I think those are all favorable critiques. I can't find fault in them. I will say that again, I think Dennis is better in zone coverage than he is man. I just do. You put him against Kyle Pitts and Bijan Robinson one-on-one. Pitts has got size over Dennis, who's a smaller linebacker. Robinson has the speed and athleticism. I like him better in zone than I do in man, and we'll see how Todd Bowles tweaks and changes his defense after seeing Dennis's performance in week 1 to see what the plan is going forward.
The running back rotation was interesting. I think it'll look very different week to week. I think
agree.
Today was all about kind of just establishing who you are as an offense. So I think as the weeks go on and the opponents change, and certainly this was a back and forth game.
Yeah.
The Bucs played with the lead for a little bit, but they never played with a 2-score lead. I think when that factors in, you'll see more of Rachaad White. Rachaad White, I know the stats don't really show it.
Yeah.
He picked up some blitzes today.
He did.
In pass blocking, where he was
a hero. Yeah.
Rachaad White was huge in that aspect of it. Sorry, Brian Sugar. How about the guy out of bounds, but they spiked it for another play, still went back and counted the stepping out of bounds?
Yeah, I think sometimes what the league says is, oh, we were trying to buzz down, and stop the play. This is the NFL's game. The NFL officials, they're going to rule and they're going to meddle and they're going to determine what's happening on the field. And I agree with you. The letter of the law is once a play has happened, you're not supposed to be able to go back and rewind and turn back time, as Cher would say,
right?
And do plays over. But the NFL, they make the rules, they break their own rules, and that shouldn't have happened, but it did. And they use that excuse. Oh, we were trying to buzz down and get another look at the play. And you know what? Back in the day, Matt, when they would try to do that and they didn't stop the play, the officials on the field would just say, "Hey, sorry, too bad. I didn't get the buzzer in time," and the game's going on. Now, it's like the entire NFL is run out of New York in the control and command center for replays and officiating, and these officials are beholden to whatever the folks in New York say.
Timothy Fitzgerald with a $2 super chat says, "Let's freaking bake. Best weekend for Oklahoma in half a decade."
Yeah.
Boomer, FTC. I don't know what that stands for, but yeah, hell yeah for Oklahoma. Big time.
Fire the cannons.
Fire the cannons. Yeah, there we go. Yeah, it's very Josh Capo-esque with all the abbreviations.
Right.
But yeah, Marshall Walker, thank you for the $4.99 super chat. Appreciate that. TJ Fuller, thanks for the $4.99. We weren't great today and still won. That's what good teams do. Take the divisional win. Yeah, for sure. Right. Again, growing pains with the offense, sloppy play, defense trying to figure out no team has their identity right now, unless you're one of those long-established teams. Now, if the Bucs had Tristan Wirfs and Chris Godwin and Jalen McMillan, you would say the offense has their identity, but you still got to factor in first year of Josh Grizzard as offensive coordinator. This is just the beginning. We're not even in the first leg of this marathon. Still a long way to go. Cecil, thanks for the $1.99 super chat. Says, Morris has to be cornerback 2 next week. No more Dean. I don't think that's going to happen just yet. I don't think
it's going to happen either, yeah.
We'll go and rewatch Jamel Dean.
Yeah.
But I'm with you. I think, again, it's going to be overblown because of the penalty that he had early on. But outside of that, I thought he played pretty well. No one torched the Bucs in the receiving game besides Bijan Robinson.
Be careful what you wish for. It's hard to play cornerback in the NFL as a rookie. So as much as we like the upside and the potential and the trajectory of Benjamin Morrison when healthy, there's going to be some mistakes. There's going to be some blown coverages.
There's going to be snaps.
There's going to be some first downs allowed, some touchdowns surrendered. So be careful what you wish for, Bucs fans.
Matt Loshman, thanks for the $10 super chat. New member, longtime watcher. Let's go. We'll give a horns up for you on that one.
I can't do that.
Matt Loshman.
I'm sure you understand me being a Big 12 guy. I can't do that.
Sure. Yeah. I get
you can, Matt, and I appreciate that.
Covered Bijan when he was in high school here in Arizona. Then he wisely went to my college alma mater. He's unreal. Just glad he took an L today. Quite the history for you, but that's super cool. Thank you so much for being
very cool.
A member of Pewter Report TV. Cool background story, too. I really like hearing that. So thanks for your support.
Thank you.
Awesome info. Richie P., thanks for the $10 super chat. Not a perfect game, but with the offensive line as mangled as it is and McMillan and Godwin out, how is this not a big win as you can have this early in the season? Yeah, especially with the back and forth of the game, trying to find that killer instinct. Certainly you would have liked to win on a defensive stop with the Bucs up 4. And so the highlight note is Egbuka's touchdown and not the missed field goal by Younghoe Koo. But you take them how you can get them. It's not easy to win in the NFL.
Agreed.
Kathy Gillespie, thanks for the $1.99 super chat, says Emeka's touchdown was Fox's play of the day.
Yeah.
That's awesome. Super cool to see. Marshall Walker. Thanks for now becoming a Pewter Report YouTube channel member for a month. Says,
Thank
I
you.
need super chat training.
I think Marshall hit the super chat without asking a question. So,
got you.
Marshall, if you want to ask a question, we'll be on the lookout for that right now, and we will try our best to answer it.
We have a $5 super chat from Donuts with Sprinkles. Shout out Homer Simpson. And thank you for the super chat. Says, for the most part, looks like the offensive line shuffle worked. Yeah, definitely. Again, I would put it as if this is a pass-fail type of thing, they passed. Yeah. I think they have a check mark next to their overall scoring, and it was a good job by this unit on the offensive line for the Bucs.
Yeah, I'm with you on that for sure. And a couple more. I love this one from the Green Flamingo. the Chronicles of Reddick starts now. 10+ sacks incoming. Yeah, off to a good start. Hey, if you, as Yaya Diaby told me the other day, if you get 1 sack a week, that's 17 at the end of the season.
He's
You're
on
going
pace
to the Pro Bowl.
for 17. That's great.
Yeah, exactly. Let's see here. Hassan posting on X and looked happy in the social videos. Yeah. I feel like he's found a home here. Yeah, he has been nothing but smiles and pleasant to deal with. He has been absolutely tremendous with the Buccaneers so far. And I think we're just scratching the surface to see what he's going to do in this Todd Bowles defense. Holy smokes. Brian Schuker, $50 super chat.
Schuker with a $5. Sorry, Brian Schuker with a $50 super chat. Holy smokes. Wow, thank you so much. As Brian says, thanks for all the shows. We really appreciate that. Yeah, we've been going all day since 9 a.m. The pregame show, the game day show, which was a ton of fun. We had awesome comments. That was great, especially when the games are intense. Yeah. Everyone here, I think, knows I get pretty worked up with these games, but it's all in good fun. Yeah, it was an absolute blast. And then now we're doing the Pewter post-game show. So thank you, everyone, for your support.
That's right.
Appreciate the $50 super chat.
And shout out to Daniel Morales, too, for his debut for Pewter Game Day as well, joining you on the show there, man.
Yes.
And we have some more shows coming up. We have, obviously, a Pewter Report podcast tomorrow. That will be a victory podcast at Monday at 4 o'clock. So be there, be square. We'll do roll call, which is always fun and exciting. And then, speaking of Mondays, down in Texas,
yeehaw.
Next Monday, not tomorrow, but next Monday, September 15th at 9 a.m. That's right. Hey, you're going to be at work. That's fine. I'm sure you can take an early lunch break, or maybe you go in a little bit early, or maybe you're at work and instead of working, you put the headphones in and you dial us up on Pewter Report TV or YouTube channel and watch the Pewter pregame show, myself and Matt Matera. And here's the thing. If you're at work and you can't watch the show live, I got some great news. It's archived on Pewter Report TV. You can watch it at any point in time up until kickoff. So there you go. And you know what you're going to be doing at kickoff? You're going to be joining Matt Matera, Daniel Morales for Pewter Game Day. It's 7 o'clock, folks. There's a new kickoff time for Monday Night Football. They're doing a doubleheader. The Bucs have the early game. That's at 7 p.m. Eastern time. So make sure that you check out Pewter Game Day here on Pewter Report TV, our YouTube channel. And as you might know, all of our podcasts that go live, the Pewter Report podcast, the postgame podcast, Pewter pregame, Pewter Game Day, all of those live podcasts are also streamed live on our X and Facebook channels, Pewter Reports, and that's at Pewter Report. So there you go. That's an easy way you can watch our content. And with tomorrow being Monday, I'm just going to let you know, you better get to walk-ons where you can eat like a winner, drink like a champ. They have happy hour from 3 p.m. to close. And if you can't make it tomorrow, goodness gracious, Tuesday, they have all-day happy hour plus $5 Tito's. They've got a fantastic selection of new appetizers. They've got 2 different rounds of nachos. Score big with flavors and even bigger vibes. 3 Tampa Bay area locations, Wesley Chapel, Midtown Tampa, and Lakeland. And maybe you can check out some of those new kickoff cocktails, too.
Yeah.
Limited time only, not just on game days. You can enjoy these any day of the week. I've had the Players Punch. It's fantastic. They also have the Walk-Ons Whiskey Sour and the Strawberry Mule. And if you want to maybe check out the next USF Bulls or Bucs game or any college or pro game, even Monday Night Football, and you want to celebrate with some shots, they've got them. The Lemon Drop, the Washington Apple, the Mexican Candy, the Green Tea, and, of course, the Tropical Vegas Bomb. Those are fantastic winning shots that never miss. Tampa Bay area walk-ons, 3 of them to serve you. Wesley Chapel, my neck of the woods, Midtown Tampa, down there by Matt Matera and the stadium, and over in Lakeland. Make sure you get the walk-ons, food, football, and fun.
Hell yeah. A couple more super chats before we wrap up the show. Meese McGee, thanks for the $5 super chat, says, I'm not too concerned with Servasi Dennis or the pass rush, but they did start off slow like usual.
Yeah.
Falcons will be okay. Their first 7 games will be held. Yeah, the slow start is something to pay attention to. No doubt about it.
I agree.
Matt Loshman says, no hook'em, SR. Thanks for the $5 super chat. Just kidding. I know you bleed purple.
Oh, I'm bleeding right now. I am bleeding. Trust me.
Yeah.
My Wildcats are awful. Kansas State is this year's Florida State from last year. We went over to Ireland, took an L over there as a ranked team, and we are spiraling. So, yeah, hats off to you with the Hook'em Horns Longhorn win. Arch Manning had a nice comeback performance yesterday. So,
also, real quick, one thing we got to comment on a little bit more.
Yeah.
The return game on special teams for the Bucs. Cameron Johnson, again, sensational on that punt and return. They have their punt returner.
They do.
With Cameron Johnson setting up that first touchdown. Also, probably will go overlooked. Sean Tucker was so on kick returns, but that last kick return
one was
set up the Bucs in a really good situation. Because I was saying, just make Cameron Johnson the primary kick returner too. But that was a big part of the game right there. So just wanted to give a quick shout out to
And Matt, that was what we talked about. Will special teams be the deciding factor for the Bucs? And if Chase McLaughlin wins, or I shouldn't say wins, but if he connects on those 4 points that he missed, the field goal, the extra point, it's a huge banner day for Tampa Bay special teams. Thankfully, it took a miss by Younghoe Koo to really kind of even the score a little bit there. But I mean, the return game in Tampa Bay is what we thought it would be. It's going to be spectacular this year.
All right, one more super chat. TJ Fuller, thank you for the $9.99 super chat, says, is it just me or is Egbuka ahead of schedule? Yes, the 2 tutties, but he played multiple spots today. Kind of wild considering Godwin took time to develop. Yeah, I mean, we have just written in like, he's going to be great. And it's like, this guy is playing his first ever game. Like Ted McMillan, Matthew Golden, Luther Burden plays tomorrow. He's with the Bears. Like there's other, potential star wide receivers or receivers that teams are going to be relying on that are rookies. And Emeka Egbuka came out of the gate playing great. I'm not gonna say he was sensational. The 2 touchdowns were awesome. But leading the team in receiving yards as a rookie when Mike Evans is there too. Damn. That was awesome.
We've said it all along that this guy really had the second best training camp behind Mike Evans on offense, all off season and training camp as well. He's just him. He's a phenomenal player. And what happened today really wasn't a surprise. It was great to see, but honestly, I wasn't terribly surprised. We've seen this on a regular basis, the spectacular catches in training camp, the consistency. He's Godwin 2.0, and man, what a special player he's going to be.
This could be a special team, especially not like special teams, but a special team with what they can be once everyone gets back healthy, especially with those other wide receivers. This is going to be a fun year covering this team. I'm very happy with the turnout today for this post-game podcast. Monday night will be a challenge as well because, it is a work week and we understand people got to go to work the next day.
No, you don't. You can call off. You've got some paid time off.
Go to work Monday, take off Tuesday.
That's right.
So then you can stay up late and watch the Bucs and join us for that podcast as well. Emeka Egbuka, Offensive Rookie of the Year, plus 1,600.
To a good start.
Yeah, exactly. So this was a lot of fun. We're going to have Victory Monday tomorrow. Talk a little bit more about the Bucs' big win over the Atlanta Falcons.
And hey, you know what? Yeah, I was going to say, if you haven't hit the subscribe button, do so now on Pewter Report TV. We're almost at 21,000 thanks to you guys. Also hit notifications whenever we go live with the podcast, especially the post-game podcast. You're going to get notified. You can check us out live on your phone, your tablet, or your laptop. So make sure that you're hitting subscribe as well as notifications. We greatly appreciate it.
Okay. Yeah. Please like and subscribe to all of our social media on X, Facebook, and Instagram. We're at Pewter Report. Our YouTube channel is Pewter Report TV. So, yes, leave a comment on this video as well. Your excitement level with this Bucs team winning and starting the season 1-0. That's going to do it for us on today's Pewter Report podcast. For Scott Reynolds, I'm Matt Matera saying thanks everyone for watching. We'll see you soon. We'll see you tomorrow for another edition of the Pewter Report podcast. Out.